Well, it looks like the plans to get Britney Griner back were nothing but a flop due to the simple fact that President Biden is nothing more than a WAP. Let's discuss. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Beasley here. I hope you all are staying cool, calm, and collected out there. So before I start off this video, I want to give you guys some very passionate words from the scholarly poet by the name of Lil Boosie.
How the hell this girl get 9 years for a weed pen? And the USA ain't doing nothing about it. You tell me that. If that was Taylor Swift, it'll be a peace treaty right now. It'll be a slight, they'll be drafting to go to war for a weed pen. 9 years. What that show for black women in the United States? And the vice president, as a black woman, you supposed to be on the front line. You supposed to be on the front line to get that black woman out of jail. 9 damn years. Y'all fucked up in this world.
So if you guys don't know or have been living under a rock, Britney Griner is the latest person to get caught up in Russia, that is. Britney Griner, if you don't know her, she is a world-renowned WNBA star, but she had to go to Russia to make some extra money because, you know, that's kind of like speaks to the pay discrepancies between the WNBA and the NBA. That's a whole nother video that I'm probably not going to do. But Britney Griner got caught up in Russia due to the fact that she had a weed vape pen or a CBD oil vape pen. You know, they don't really care. They're going to loop all that in together, even though there's a big difference. But her, like a lot of athletes, like to smoke weed. They smoke weed mainly for pain and for a little bit of pleasure, but mostly for pain. I think a lot of athletes smoke a lot of weed to a point where they don't even really get high anymore. They just use it to alleviate their pain. And I can relate to that too because, baby, I used to vape weed all the time. I was like damn near addicted. Well, I wouldn't say addicted. I just liked doing it because, for one, I didn't like smoking out of a blunt paper. I liked my pen, and I used it heavily up until the pandemic because for some reason during the pandemic, you know, weed gave me anxiety. Now, I don't really feel like you could 100% get addicted to weed, but once you feel that euphoric feeling, you want to keep feeling that feeling. Like, I mean, it is pleasurable, but if you're a high-standing athlete that goes through a lot of pain and works out like intense conditioning, you need something to alleviate that stress, and weed is the best thing. But y'all, she was arrested. She's been arrested for a little over 90 days, like over 3 months. I think it's almost 4 at this point. But I was fully alarmed, completely alarmed, when I found out that she was sentenced to 9 years. 9 years in Russian prison. The saddest thing about this is that it was literally the wrong place at the wrong time. She got arrested and she's literally being used as a pawn, as a war trophy. You know, the Russian versus Ukraine war is going on, even though we don't really hear anything about it. It's still going on. And she's just used as a pawn and as a petty piece to wave at the Americans like, hey, we got one of your girls and we're not letting them go. Because you mean to tell me that you get 9 years over weed? Now, granted, Russia operates completely differently. Like, everything just seems so strict and intense over there, but they operate differently, and us Americans, we can tend to be a little arrogant and think that our American rules apply everywhere overseas, and that's completely not the case. But I highly doubt that old girl really thought that a little weed vape would lead to her getting 9 years in prison. Now, I don't feel like she's gonna do the full 9 years, but it's infuriating to see that she got sentenced to 9 years in prison. And what's even more infuriating is to see certain groups in America seemingly not really care. First off, Britney Griner is a black lesbian woman. I want to point the finger at the LGBT community because I don't really see a lot of support and outcry from the LGBT community. I could be wrong. I don't stay glued to the news, but I'm pretty in tune with the social media streets. And unless there's an article on her, I don't really see many people talking about her, and it's just completely sad. It feels like she's just like left over there to the wayside and nobody cares, and the one group that she belongs to seems to not really care. Let's keep it real. The LGBT community is more focused on gay men, gay white men at that. Like, that's what it is. Like, the gay white men, like that one joke that Dave Chappelle said, like, the gay white men, they ride the bus. They're the ones driving the bus, and you have the other alphabets in the back seat, and the LGBT, the L in the LGBT is sitting at the back seat. Because for the most part, I hate to even say this and admit this, but I feel like within our community, the LGBT community, it's gays first, then bisexuals we don't really address, and then lesbians we don't really uplift because, you know, to a lot of us gays, lesbians can come off as, you know, strong and hard and mean, to where we just kind of like leave them alone and let them do their own thing. And then we have the trans community, which they just lumped in with us because they are a part of the Freaks and Geeks of society. So they just lumped us all together. And then a lot of transgender women used to be gay men, so that's why they lump us all together. But the cold hard truth is, in the community, we don't really give that much care or attention to lesbian women. We don't care because lesbians, they tend to be independent. They tend to ride their own wave, do their own thing, be on their own wavelength, you name it. Like, I just never saw much outcry and care when it comes to lesbians. And the gays within the community tend to ignore the lesbians because, now, this is not to play the oppression Olympics. Growing up, it was a little more acceptable if a woman was a lesbian versus a boy being gay. Like, lesbians did not, for the most part, have to go through as much homophobia from the outside world as we did. Now, that's very selfish to say, but it's just the God honest truth. From what I see, it was a little more acceptable if a woman was a lesbian versus a man being gay. And with lesbians being more accepted in society because they're more masculine presenting, it's just like, okay, well, y'all got it then. Y'all got it. Y'all are strong. Y'all are tough. Y'all can do it on your own. And then you couple with the fact that Britney Griner is a black woman, and they already treat black women like they're supposed to be strong, independent, and hard. And that's simply not the case, because not all black women are a monolith. If Britney Griner was a white gay man, I'm pretty sure that America would have fought a little harder to get Britney Griner back. Now, granted, I don't know what they do to gay men over in Russia. I think Russia is a homophobic country. I could be wrong. I mean, there's some gay Russians. I've seen gay Russians in porn. But I will say, they would have fought a lot harder if Britney Griner was a white gay man. I guarantee that Britney would have been over there max 3 weeks if she was a white gay man. And another group that I want to call out is the Black Lives Matter group. The Black Lives Matter, you know, we don't really see a lot of, you know, rallying together from that group unless, like, a white person was the one that oppressed them, or a white person, like, ended up killing a black person, basically. But whenever there's, like, an issue within our own community, or an issue with a black lesbian woman being like unlawfully arrested, like, there's no outcry, there's no support, and I think they feel like they can't really do much over here in America to get her back. But the main issue I have with the Black Lives Matter group, despite it being a corrupt organization, is the fact that it is led by a black lesbian woman by the name of Patrisse Cullors. If you guys don't know who Patrisse Cullors is, she is one of the 3 black lesbian women that formed Black Lives Matter. And I, to this day, don't see any type of outcry or any type of statement. Like, I don't see anything that Patrisse has tried to do. I mean, homegirl is trying to, like, lay low, I guess, because she has been, like, outed for fraud, you know, with all her and her little mini mansions across the world. Like, that girl has allocated all her funds to herself and her family, but I digress. It's just crazy that somebody that is your own kind, you have absolutely nothing for. Patrisse has done nothing for this movement. Now, I could be wrong. By the time this video comes out, she probably would have did a press conference. Who knows? But I just noticed that across the board, that every group that Britney belongs to, there's not a whole lot of outpour. Now, granted, black people as a whole are like at least trying their best to rally around her and like light a fire up under America's ass to get her back. But I think I'm just frustrated because there's just nothing being done. Now, before she was sentenced to 9 years in prison, it seemed like the only thing that America was trying to do was to negotiate a big old switcheroo. They were going to try to trade her out for this Russian arms dealer by the name of Victor Boo. You know, basically like trading her, like, basically like Putin, they were trying to do like a little peaceful trade. Like, we give you your Russian arms dealer back who tried to kill a bunch of Americans so that we could get Britney Griner back, but I guess somewhere in the government they felt like that was not going to be a good idea, so that deal just fell through, and homegirl is literally living out this sentence as I speak. Now, y'all, I'm going to say this lightly because I've had a lot of videos taken down whenever I speak out against this flawed government, very, very flawed government, but my focus is shifted towards Joe Biden. Joe Biden, you're a wop. A wop. A weak-ass president. I used to be a devout Democrat, but y'all, these days, I'm pretty much apolitical because both parties are literally two sides of the same coin. The Republicans ain't shit and the Democrats are full of shit. Like, all the Democrats do literally is try their best to rock us back to sleep. And the Republicans, you know, the only positive thing I can say about their racist asses is that they all have band together and have stayed pretty consistent on one mission. Versus the Democrat Party, they're all over the place. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people within the Democratic Party think like Republicans, but they want to stay on the good side, so they remain in the Democratic Party. Like, they're just flawed and fake as fuck, all of them. The Republicans ain't shit and the Democrats are a bunch of pussies. And my problem with Joe Biden is just like, where are your balls? Where are the balls? Where are the balls? Where are the balls of America? Like, where are they? Where are the balls? Are they not here? Where are they at? Here, not here. Where are the balls? Yo, I'm so stupid. I'm sorry, but seriously, you guys, like, Joe Biden, I just, it's like, dude, do you want to be here? Do you want to be here? Now, granted, like, we can give you a little bit of a pass because you allegedly caught COVID and had COVID twice, even though I didn't know you can get COVID back to back, but I digress. It's just like, dude, like, I cannot stand that sting, and I love Michelle Obama, but she made this whole slogan for the Democrats, when they go low, we go high, and I'm just like, no, go low. Now, granted, we do have bigger fish to fry. I understand that. We really do. And I hate to even make a comparison to Trump because, you know, I used to think that, like, if Trump were still in office, he would have been got her. But then again, Trump went out and said that she was basically spoiled and didn't think it was worth trading a Russian arms dealer for her. So, screw him. But anyways, like, I just feel like I know we have bigger fish to fry. We got a lot of things going on, a lot of bullshit, monkeypox, COVID. Y'all, I'm tired. I am tired. I think I can speak for all Americans and say that I am just tired. Like, just all these twists and turns and ups and downs. It's just like living in a damn soap opera these days. But yeah, y'all, let me go ahead and take this on home because I'm rambling. How do you guys feel about this situation? Like, do you think Britney Griner is going to serve the full 9 years? Or do you think she's going to be let out by the end of the year? I mean, at least that's what I'm hoping. I for God's sakes, I hope that she gets out by the end of this year. And also, how do you guys feel about the current Biden administration and Kamala Harris? Now, granted, I feel like I'll probably lay off Kamala a little bit because before her, did we really ever care about the vice president? No, we didn't. Everybody's like, where is she? Where is she? And I ask those questions too, but at the end of the day, I have to check myself and realize, baby, the vice president just gets a free ride with some clout, baby. Like what does the vice president really even do? Absolutely nothing. That's what the homegirl's doing, her job. Absolutely nothing. But let me know what you guys think about this whole entire situation. Those are my views. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm going to come back at you guys with some more content.